Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Tough Team quiz. This quiz is 42 questions long, split equally over 6 genres. They are the standard UK genres. I will read each of the questions out to you and then I'll give you sort of around 20-30 seconds to get your answers down, and then at the end of the round I will run through the answers. At the very end of the quiz I'll explain to you how you can put your scores into our Quest results system so you can see how you did against everybody else. Okay, so let's get on with the first question. So that is art, history and culture, round 1. Question 1. What nationality was the Surrealist painter René Magritte? So we're looking for his nationality. Okay, number 2. Built around 292 to 280 BCE, the celebrated Colossus of Rhodes was a giant bronze statue depicting a sun god known to the Greeks by what name? Okay, number 3. Who have famously guarded the tomb of Qin Shi Huang for over 2,000 years? Okay, number 4. The cathedral of which city was partially destroyed in a 2011 earthquake? And number 5. Usually referred to by a name that translates as February the 26th incident or 2-26 incident of 1936, this foiled coup d'etat involved a military revolt in which imperial capital city? And number 6. With a name derived from that of a Philistine god formerly worshipped in Ekron and later adopted by some Abrahamic religions as a major demon, whose name is believed to come from the Hebrew for Lord of the Flies? And last question of the round, number 7. He died in Tunis while leading the second of his 2 unsuccessful crusades. Which 13th century king of France is the only king of France to have been canonised in the Catholic Church? I need regnal number and name, please. Okay, that's the end of the round. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to jot down any additional answers, and then we will go through the answers. Okay, that's time up. Let's go through the answers. Number 1, Magritte was Belgian. Number 2, the Colossus of Rhodes, that's Helios. Number 3, the Terracotta Army. Number 4, that cathedral's in Christchurch, New Zealand. Number 5, Tokyo. And number 6, Beelzebub. And number 7, that's Louis the Ninth. I need both Louis and Ninth, please, for that point. Okay, we'll go on to round number 2. Just make a note of your scores. I'll tell you right at the very end how to put them into the system. Okay, round 2, civilization. The third most populous city in the US is located on the shores of which of the Great Lakes? So not looking for the city, we want the lake, please. Civilization question 2. At the centre of which UN organisation's logo will you find the rod of Asclepius? And number 3. Which Scandinavian capital city was for a time known as Christiania? Okay, number 4. Who, then the world's oldest elected national political leader, shocked the people of Malaysia by announcing in February 2020 that he would be stepping down as Prime Minister? Okay, number 5. The western tip of which island comprises Kings County and Queens County, respectively, the New York City boroughs of Brooklyn and Queens? Okay, number 6. Which major Australian city, a state capital, stands on the Swan River? And question 7. In which southwest African country will you find the UNESCO World Heritage Site called Bunce Island Fort that is described by UNESCO as contributing to the world's understanding of the trade in slaves in unique ways? Okay, that's the end of the round. I'm going to give you another 30 seconds if you need it. If you don't need it, you can zip through these 30 seconds, but I'm going to give you 30 seconds now just to chat through your answers. Okay, that's time. Let's get on with those answers. Number 1, Lake Michigan. So the city's Chicago, obviously. Number 2, the World Health Organization. Number 3, that city was Oslo. Number 4, Mahathir bin Mohammed. Number 5, Long Island. Number 6, the Australian city, that's Perth. And number 7, that country is Sierra Leone. So make a note of your scores and I'll tell you later how to put them into our results entry system. Okay? Entertainment, round 3. Number 1, premiered in 2006, which Tony Award-winning musical is a retelling of the mythical tale of Orpheus and Eurydice? Number 2, this is Tipu's tiger, created in the late 18th century for a ruler in India. Concealed inside this tiger's body behind a hinged flap is what instrument that can be operated by turning the handle next to it? So it's a musical instrument you need the name of. Okay, what musical instrument could you see there? And number 3, who composed the popular operas La Bohème, Tosca and Madama Butterfly? Okay, number 4. Which cartoon characters are known for wearing white Phrygian caps? Okay, number 5. Which Oscar-winning director won his Best Director Oscar for directing a film which featured his father, He also went on to direct his daughter, who had previously won a Supporting Actress Award, in his final film. Okay, number 6. The American comedian, actor, singer, and jazz musician Phil Harris voiced which character in Disney's acclaimed animated version of The Jungle Book? And finally, what surname links La Stupenda and a multiple Emmy-winning father and son? Okay, that's the end of the round. I'm going to give you 30 seconds, should you need it, to discuss those answers. Okay, time's up. Let's have a look at the answers. Number 1, Hadestown. Number 2, that's an organ inside that rather grim looking tiger eating a man. Number 3, that's Puccini. Number 4, the Smurfs wear those hats. And number 5, that's John Huston. Number 6, he voiced Baloo. And number 7, that's Sutherland, who needed Joan Sutherland there, La Stupenda, and Kiefer and Donald Sutherland as well. Okay, top those scores up and keep hold of them, and we will move on to lifestyle. Question 1. At the White House on the 7th of December 2009, who was President Barack Obama presenting a Kennedy Center honor to when he said, "I'm the president, but he's the boss"? Okay, number 2. In Spain, who or what is El Gordo, the fat one? And number 3. In which capital city might you visit the beautiful Seychany thermal bath? Okay, number 4. An important figure in early French Romanticism, which 19th century French writer and diplomat gave his name to a thick fillet steak? And number 5. Their women's wear collection celebrates its 35th anniversary in 2020. How are Domenico and Stefano much better known? And number 6. The Economist Intelligence Unit tracks living costs globally. Compiled in November 2019, its 2020 Worldwide Cost of Living Survey named Hong Kong, Singapore, and which Japanese city as the world's most expensive to live in? And last question of the round, number 7. In Indian cuisine, by what name are lentils most commonly known? The name you seek is also commonly given to a dish made with lentils or other split pulses. Okay, I'm going to give you 30 seconds again if you need it to think about your answers. Okay, that's time. Let's go through the answer. Number 1. Bruce Springsteen is, of course, the boss. Number 2. El Gordo is the Spanish state lottery. Number 3. Those rather beautiful looking thermal baths are in Budapest. And number 4. He is Chateaubriand. Number 5. Those two gentlemen are Dolce and Gabbana. Number 6. That city's Osaka. And number 7. That's Dahl. Okay, tot up your scores again, and we will move on to physical world. Okay, question 1. Lying between Iceland and Norway, which archipelago in the North Atlantic includes all these islands amongst others? So which archipelago? And number 2. In a diagram showing an electrical circuit, what does this symbol represent? And number 3. Which common unit of power, by which we mean the measure of the rate at which work is done, was adopted by James Watt in the late 18th century and is these days reckoned to be 746 watts in the International System of Units? Okay, number 4. In the northern borderlands of which country does the Chindwin River rise before flowing southwards for around 550 miles to meet the River Irrawaddy? And number 5. In which EU country will you find mountains known as the 12 Bens and the Mormturks? And number 6. From the Latin meaning to flow, what generic name is given to a substance added during metal smelting that combines with impurities to form slag that can then be removed? Okay, and number 7. If you travelled due east from Stanley on the Falkland Islands, which country would you first make landfall? So travelling due east from Stanley and the Falkland Islands, in which country would you first make landfall? Okay, I'm going to give you 30 seconds again to discuss your answers if you need it. Okay, that's your time up. Let's have a look at those answers. Number 1 is the Faroe Islands. Number 2, that was the Battery. Number 3, horsepower. Number 4, Myanmar, and we'll accept Burma. Number 5, those mountains are in the Republic of Ireland. Number 6, that's Flux. And number 7, Chile. You'd be able to go pretty much the whole way round the world there, and you would end up back in Chile before you touched any other landfall. Okay, add your scores up again, and we will go on to the final round, which is the sport and games round. Okay, number 1. Together with her partner, who won the mixed doubles at Wimbledon when aged 46 years and 261 days to become the oldest ever winner of a tennis Grand Slam event? Question 2. As of February 2020, what is the name of either the Indian city or the state that is home to the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Stadium with a seated capacity of 110,000? It's now the second largest sports stadium in the world. So I want either the city or the state. Okay, number 3. In 2012, which multiple Olympic gold medalist set a world record for the longest successful golf putt recorded on TV? And there he is doing it. Okay, number 4. Often acknowledged as one of the worst designed sporting awards, the Liam McCarthy Trophy is awarded in which sport? And number 5, racers in which sport are joined at this week's virtual race event by Real Madrid goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois and Lazio striker Ciro Immobile? So we're looking for the sport. It's been replaced by a virtual event. So which sport has been replaced by that virtual event? Okay, number 6. 40 years ago this week, which athlete was declared the winner of the women's Boston Marathon in a record time, only to be stripped of the title a week later when it was revealed that she hadn't run the entire course and had slipped out the crowd to finish ahead of the eventual winner? So who was that? 40 years ago this week, actually on the 21st of April. Okay, last question of the quiz. In January 2020, Houston Astros manager AJ Hinch and general manager Jeff Luhnow were initially suspended and later fired for their roles in a scandal relating to what? An issue currently troubling the MLB authorities. So what were they fired for doing? Okay, that's the end of the round then. I'm going to give you another 30 seconds if you need it to just go through those answers. Okay, that's time. Okay, number 1. That's Martina Navratilova. Number 2, Ahmedabad or Gujarat. Either of those is fine. Number 3, that's Michael Phelps. Number 4, that trophy is for hurling. Number 5, those footballers were playing in a virtual Formula 1 Grand Prix, the China Formula 1 Grand Prix. As long as you've got something like that, it was the sport, the virtual sport that we were looking for. So it's virtual Formula 1. And number 6, she was Rosie Ruiz. And finally, they were sign stealing. Which is when you're playing baseball, they signal behind their backs and things like that. What they're doing is looking at the signs and passing them on illegally to other players on their team. So as long as you've got something like that, it's actually called sign stealing. But as long as you've got something that sort of explains what they were doing, that will be fine. So, tot your scores up. Okay, thanks for playing. Here's how to put your scores in. Firstly, you need to have entered to play the event, but you can do this retrospectively. Your team captain should do this by going to quest.quizzing.com, looking in the schedule and entering the quiz. You'll be able to use a team name or just your individual name, whatever, that's fine. Once you've done that, then you click on Home Playing, which you will find top right hand side of your screen. When you go in there, you will see how to add your scores. It's fairly straightforward, I think. The scores will appear only once I hit calculate, so don't expect them to appear necessarily straight away, and don't panic if they don't appear straight away. That will be down to me hitting calculate. Our next Tough Team quiz is same time next week, 26th of April at 8 o'clock in the evening UK time. We're also running fun quizzes on Wednesdays and Fridays. Wednesdays is me and my sister as the Quizzer Sisters, and on Friday Sean Williamson takes over and runs a really fabulous fun quiz for everybody. Those are at this YouTube channel at 8 o'clock UK time as well, so please do join us for those. They are a lot of fun. And we currently have in play the America's Quizzing Circuit quiz, which has been written by Steve Perry, who at the moment is frontline in the fight against COVID. So we are supporting a charity in his name and donating £1 for every set that is sold. Steve has nominated Feeding America as his charity, so a very worthy cause. You'll find out how you can enter that by going to quest.quizzing.com again and having a look through the schedule. So please do join in with that. You have until next Saturday evening to get your scores in, so plenty of time, and hopefully you'll really enjoy that quiz as well. So there you go, thank you very much. That's all from me, and I will speak to you all hopefully on Wednesday. Okay, take good care of yourselves. Bye bye.